YouTube, what up? It's NEACE. This is the second episode of Fortnite Fundamentals, and as promised, I'm going to be covering basic building. Everything that you need to know about the shapes, the materials, before you jump into a very mechanically scary game that is Fortnite. Alright? If you enjoyed this series, as always, please make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, and all that stuff. I am going to tell you outright, the very first thing I'm going to say is building is equal to shooting, okay? A lot of people think, me ooga booga, me shoot. This game like PUBG, this game like CSGO. No. Building is just as important, maybe even a little bit more than shooting, okay? And what we're gonna do is we're gonna have you jump into a game of Playground, you're gonna follow along, and by the end of this video, you'll understand why building is so important, and the different shapes and all that stuff. Now, the big thing that you need to understand, what separates Fortnite from all the other VR games, is that when you get shot in the butt, or when you get shot from above or below or whatever, you always have a chance to outplay somebody using the builds. Alright, there's 4 shapes that you can use to build with Fortnite. There's walls, ramps, floors, and roofs. Each shape can be edited into different useful shapes, okay? So the important edits to remember, though, are the ones where you can make windows, you can make peeking angles, or you can just edit to move through those shapes. Alright, walls are primarily used for blocking shots and reinforcing the structures. Ramps are used mostly for pushing for high ground or navigating tough terrain. Floors mostly block from above or below, or also you can cross little caverns and crevices with the floors. And then roofs are probably your most versatile shape. You can use those for stairs, you can use those as for reinforcement of your builds, and we can cover the edit peeking later in the video. Okay, before we go into the builds real quick, I've got to make it crystal clear. Whenever you are getting shot at in Fortnite, wherever direction it is, you need to always try to block those shots. That is one of the biggest things that separates somebody that is a noob to somebody that's learning. Always try to block that damage and pay very close attention to the indicator, because that will normally tell you where those shots are coming from if you're confused or lost. Alright, your first priority in Fortnite when you're learning how to build is how to safely push an opponent. Now there's all sorts of ways that you can build ramps, you've probably seen them, but the most efficient way that you can push somebody in Fortnite is a simple reinforced ramp. Now that's just going to be your stair, your floor, and your wall as you run upwards towards an opponent. Alright, but remember, as you build up 3 stories high, if you go beyond 3 stories high, if someone knocks you down, you can do a lot of damage. And you can also take this trick to the next level. You can do that reinforced ramp, and if you know you're going to get shot from the side, you can cover as you're building up, or whether it's from the left or from the right, any of that. But you'll know that no one can simply just shoot out your ramp and then you'll fall down. That's what the reinforced ramp's for. You'll even see some people do a double reinforced ramp. But it's just very important that you know that first push, okay? And the next build that you're gonna have to know is the 1x1, all right? That's the tower. This is the stuff that Myth became famous for, okay? Simply just pick a wall, hold left click, and do a quick spin. You're gonna place a stair, and then you're gonna do the same thing over and over again. You go as high as you want. You can make your tower as Trump-like as you'd like. Okay, but you got to remember the rules of if you get knocked down from the bottom, you'll fall all the way down. Okay, and then if you want to be fancy, once you build to the top of your tower, simply place a roof on the top, and then you can do the edit, and you can see out of your tower. This is called edit peeking. We've got some more advanced tricks with that, but for now we're focusing on the basics. All right, the last most important basic build is to know how to reinforce above and below, okay? A lot of the lessons and the coachings that I did, newer players often don't understand that roofs and floors make it impossible for someone to break into the box or to shoot from above or below you, okay? All you gotta do is remember, if someone's shooting above you and they're spamming you, which happens a lot in Fortnite, always place a roof above your floor when you need that extra security, okay? And this also holds true with walls. If someone's spamming your wall, all you have to do is put that wall down and then put a stair between you and that wall. And that way you won't have those shots that leak through, okay? Those are your basic builds that you need to know before going into a game of Fortnite. And before I go, we gotta make sure to cover the materials, alright? Materials are very easy to understand. There's the wood, there's the brick, there's the metal. Alright, wood is the easiest material to get, but it is also the weakest. Brick is slightly tougher, but it's a little bit more difficult to farm. And then lastly, metal is obviously going to be your toughest build, but it's the most difficult to accumulate since it's the hardest to find and takes a while to farm. okay? As a rule of thumb for you guys that are just getting into Fortnite, remember to farm wood early game. Use that for early game or for just quick defense, okay? And then use your brick and your metal for mid and late game. So what will wind up happening is you'll accumulate those materials not only through farming but from picking off opponents, and then by the end game you can just build a big metal tower, and that's going to be harder to break down, and it's going to be more important to have that reinforcement when the zones are smaller and you're more likely to get shot at and you need some really strong structures, okay? And dudes, that is everything that you need to know about building. Now, I know there's a lot of people in the comments going to say, oh, we need to go about 90s or go over 90s and all that stuff. We will cover that in future videos. For now, this is just a basic building. Okay, everything that you need to know. If this video helps you, please make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe. And in the next video, we're going to be covering the early game, how to drop, how to leave the bus, how to fight in the early game, what to know, the important things that you need to know so that you can, I mean, you're going to die a lot in the early game, but we're going to make those deaths a lot less painful for you and make sure that you have the confidence. All right, this has been NEACE. I love teaching you guys this stuff. Tune in next time. All right, peace.